Oh, what is this place? It's very weird. Strange land that I've landed in. Hey, what are you doing here? I might ask you the same thing. Very strange. It's all glowy and weird and trippy like a Reading Rainbow episode. Hey, what are you doing here? A moment ago, I was on a mission to find the Majestic. What is this weird land? There's two elder people coming this way. Well, technically, I'm elder too, I guess. They look familiar to me, somehow. A lot of things look familiar to me. Although my family was coffee barons. Yes, that's it. Coffee barons. What about yours? My ancestors manufactured the best chocolates in the galaxy. Yeah. Well, you know about that. It appears that whatever this is has regenerated us somehow. Greetings. I'm Jean-Luc Picard, the Federation Starship Enterprise. You kind of look like me. That's very odd. Do you have any idea where we are? It's not really a trick question.
Well, all I know is I'm not dead. Well, oh my goodness. What is this place?
We appear to be adrift in some kind of realm. It's all very silly and colourful. It's the Cillian universe of some kind. Well, Jean-Luc, I am David Cassins. How did I get here? Well, I don't know. From my perspective, we're all here at the same time. Well, where we come from, there's the Q. Maybe they're behind this. But also, in my other universe, which for some reason I'm aware of, I didn't know about that. Hi, I'm Gordon Cervantes. I used to be a Space Force's businessman. The Cervantes Corporation. In my timeline, they make coffee. And you became a space person. How odd. You mean we're astronauts on some kind of Star Trek? That never gets old, does it? Never does.
It's an oldie but a goodie. I am Admiral Janeway, the Voyager.
I am the Romulan Elrond. It is nice to make your acquaintance. Elnor. Ah, Elnor. I see you've come back. You've been missing for some time. Are you behind this somehow? I had no idea the Romulans could do that. I am not behind this. That would be impossible. I was transported here as well. I do not know by whom. Perhaps I can explain. I mean, maybe. My character has been retrofitted into another one. Another reality. But I have the memories of the old one before I was transported there. This is all very weird. And it probably is Q. He's always messing with things. Or at least a Q. Hold on a second. I'm Gordon Cervantes of the Cervantes Corporation. That character's an imposter. Ah, it's like when I dressed up as Santa Claus at that kiddie play. It was bizarre. They all figured it out too. Oh well. A lucky guess. I wonder how you knew. Gordon Cervantes, you lout. You imposter. Kinda look like me son, James Cervantes.
Greetings, fellow travelers. I am Q. Amanda Rumbly. Cat. Welcome to my rantcast, so to speak. Rantcast, yes, that's it.
What? Rantcast? What madness is this? What is this place?
Well, this place is Cillian space, a strange realm, where anything that cat and cards thought of, and anything their friends thought of, becomes manifest reality. I've been here for some time. I even regenerated myself as a synth version of Cedo Jackson. Of course, it was just me, because it's kind of silly. But here I am. I'm here to rant about the story that I went on, and I want all of you to participate, whether you like it or not.
Normally, I would appreciate torture and mayhem. However, in your case, I will make an exception. I do not wish to participate.
Oh, but Eleanor, you weren't included in the last story. I thought to include you here. You were at the convention, but they didn't include you in the episode. And from their perspective, that was years ago. Years ago? How many years ago? From our perspective, it's the 2480s. Where is now? I assume this is some weird Q time travel thing going on.
Well, yes, it is. You are now 70 years in your past. The year is 2413. I thought it was as good a place to start as any. This is technically not a holiday special. Except when it is Amanda Q. Wasn't there an Amanda Q in the original Next Gen Star Trek thing, too?
Yeah, it was me, of course. Anyway, so yeah, there is an Amanda Q, and well, not directly her, but a manifestation, sort of. One of Cal Cat's Academy buddies. Yeah. It's too hard to explain, so I won't.
This is ridiculous, gibberish nonsense. What are we doing here? You know, strange little Star Trek story. So what are we going to do on this mission? What is this mission directive?
Well, we could play a game. I guess. But I'd rather rant about the mission I went on, and it was another failure. I just thought you all should be aware of that. Even though you wouldn't technically be, because I'm technically not, aware of all of you, but in Silly Trek I am, so cool. More people to hear me rant.
I do not like this idea, but very well. I will refrain from using my sword to hack you all to pieces for being annoying. Oh, hey, Eleanor, I think you're forgetting one thing. A very important one, too. Oh, what is that, false Cervantes? Hey, you don't have your sword. Oh, damn.
Let's get this party started, shall we? So, what'll the venue be this time? Let's see. Who should I choose to be my puppets in my little puppet show? Yes, let's see. All right. I've got it. Greetings, everyone. I am your humble host. I have conjured for you refreshments. This is cafe con leche, sort of chocolate milk, and of course we have coffee as well. Cervantes coffee from my drink. And you will consume and eat and drink. And welcome aboard my story. Yes.
This appears to be the bridge of a starship. This appears to be a bridge of the Starship Legacy. Only refit or something. But the retrofit is weird, and half the consoles are missing. I would say it's some kind of holodeck recreation, or Q conjured recreation. Interesting.
I think it's less a bridge and more we've traveled in space-time and are somewhere else. Between the universes.
Time travel gives me a headache. I can't stand it.
It's weird enough as it is they included me in this, and they're going to include you in it, too. You're even more goth than my friends from the original cast. The fictional adventures. You probably don't know who those people are, but trust me, you're more goth than them.
I do not understand. What is this goth? And who are you?
I'm Jane Piedmont, or Ariana Foster. It's kind of confusing, but you'll get used to it.
What are we doing here? This is very strange. Is it a holodeck?
It doesn't appear to be the Q continuum. It registers as completely normal. We'd appear to be in some kind of structure or house or something.
Well, I was transported to this other realm. I was a Picard and he was a LaForge, but we became these two other people. Very, very bizarre. Oh well, I guess I have to see what this Q lady is up to. Something peculiar going on here.
Well, now that you're all situated, let us get on with this weird trip that I went on. It all started long, long ago. I will give you the particulars as I go, and you can respond later to each one. The first story we will go into is how we were trying to arrange the stuff for the donations, for the donation drive at the Space Church in Oakley. We've gone on the space missions many times, but not with these people. I'd, of course, had massive experience in other missions with the former church. You know them as the C3 people, and their commander as a Leverage, and, of course, Tyriot, from the original series, FPCM. Yeah. Anyway, so yes. Yes, I remember them. Very religious and saintly. But sometimes they were amusing, like when they played hacky sack. That was cool.
What is a hacky sack? It sounds weird. I'm not sure I would like to play it.
It's a tiny beanbag ball. You kick it around with your foot. It's not relevant, but yes, they did that. Also, one of their kind almost destroyed one of the starships during the Academy days by throwing a basketball into the warp core, as I recall. Very funny. That was not me. That was Scott. Anyways, so, now, it is, and now, because I am Q, I can make myself look totally younger and everything, which is kind of cool. But not in real life. Anyway, so, yeah, we were on about the donations and things, and, it didn't go well, let's say. Yeah, they came to the house, to the spaceship, let's say, and they dumped all their crap in our front yard. It was a disaster. Just starting a disaster. Crap in the front yard. So I didn't like that. I'm assuming she's not referring to actual defecation, but rather junk. But I can appreciate a good cup of coffee. And it's not a sponsor, by the way. There's no such thing as Cervantes coffee. It's totally made up for the story. Anyway, this Q conjured it. What is going on here? This is insane. Why are we trapped here? I demand you release us immediately. Release you? Why, you just got here. No, I'm not going to release you until I'm done. Ah, no, yes. I mean, no. I hate it when that happens.
You're completely bonkers. And also, your friend over there just fell over. Lying on the floor, drunk. Well, not really. Yes.
This floor kind of sucks, and I fell over, and I left the blooper in because that's the kind of stuff I would do back in the day. Just leave it in. Sure, why not? It's almost like it was staged, but no, it wasn't. Believe me.
Very well. How did I get here? Where am I?
I seem to be out of time. Interesting. It appears that we are somewhere in the realms. But you are not the person I thought you were.
No, I'm not. I'm the other guy. But I suspect that there's someone over there I need to talk to. So I'm going to go talk to her. We stay here. Maybe we'll plan a vacation trip later or something.
But you aren't Locarno. You're someone else, and I'm probably not even me. This is weird. It appears that I've taken on the form of this TMS person. An ex of yours, perhaps.
Oh, I hope not. That'd be kind of weird. But I suppose that could be what happened. But I'm going to go over there and talk to that girl, because I'm feeling I should. Not sure why, but I should.
Yes, go over there and talk to her. And then we can decide to go on the trip to the other country.
Yes, if this was somehow connected to me, and is about me all of a sudden, I'll do that.
Is that Nicholas? Or is that Tom? They are twins, after all. Well, he's probably not here for me. But he probably came here to talk to her. How did we get here? What is going on? Yet another one of those weird anomaly things. I can barely stand it. It's probably the Q is doing again. Q is always doing that. It's gotta be Q. Or a Q. Yeah, it probably is a Q. But then again, I think you kind of like it. A little bit. When that happens. Just because it adds more adventure to our lives. I mean, it's been years since anything really interesting has happened. Hasn't it? I mean, really, think about it. Has anything happened in the past 7 years? 6 or 7 years? Hard to keep track of time after all that's happened. Yeah, well, at least we're still not ensigns. I think we were lieutenants in that last story. Story. What am I talking about? What is this place? You have any idea where we are, Tam? Q-generated fantasy? Great. But I suspect it has a woman's touch to it. Oh, there's somebody that looks like Locarno over there. But I don't think it's him. I think it's probably one of those Cal Hazel things. Like a whole cat or something. Oh, great. Another one of those. Well, we'll see what he's up to. We follow him.
My in-law. Or something. I was never quite clear on that.
You wanted to talk to her? She's right over there. Go on. I figure you are probably a manifestation of Tom Paris more than Nick Locarno.
Yeah, that's right. Tom Paris. Kind of. Well, also Cal Hazel. I've assumed this form to better communicate. This realm is really weird and twisted and posturing, making us say stuff we didn't really say, do stuff we didn't really do. Nothing weird and untoward, it's just odd, that's all.
I understand. But if you want to talk to her, you should. Talk to her now. Before it gets old. Before you lose your nerve.
What do I say to her? I mean, what do I do after all this time? Doesn't make much sense, does it? Producing whatever this is. It's a weird and trippy, ethereal thing. Not even on drugs. No, but I suppose I'll be the one to have the fake toothache later. I hate that. I don't want to have a toothache. It'll be. I hope it's like. I don't want to have a toothache. I hope it's somebody else.
So, what is going on here? Are you the Cal Hazel of this timeline? What is this place? In another timeline, I was this other girl. A Dulmer and Luxley character. I was like a Yar, kind of. But I was a Dulmer and Luxley character, which means time travel and space-time police and stuff like that. So I should have known what the Travelers were doing, but I didn't. And I'm here now. What do you want me to do? I don't even know what Q wants me to do.
I don't want you to do anything. I came here to reconcile with you, I guess. Yeah, that's it. I came here because, back in the day, we were all in that cult at the TMS, and things were strange. Yeah. But I'm here directing this thing, and guessing away, but I'm not the director. So how are you?
I'm fine. But that is not why you wanted me to come here. I'm sure there's some other questions you ask and want to know the answer to. And, well, I can't answer everything, but I can answer this. Yes, my mother and you were intimate years ago, weren't you?
Yes. Yes, we were intimate years ago. However, at the time, I was too young and naive to know what I was doing. And she was a little older. She might say she seduced me, but I liked it, so it was okay. I was of age, of course. And I didn't know, actually, until... Well, there were many hints that you were our child. I just didn't know at the time. Even though the YSN mark is the same. And the clues were similar. You're kind of like me. Except more introverted. You're different. Like me. But different. Yeah. That's just trippy. I don't know what to say about that.
Yes, well, we were all in a cult. TMS. And when we were in a cult, act like we're in one. I definitely was in one. I was raised in it. Of course I'm going to act like that. Yes. I suppose you couldn't have come forward until after. Many years had passed. Until after Mom was out and I was out. You couldn't come forward. Yes, the TMS people tried to hold that against us. It didn't work. Many years ago. But now, the statute of limitations has expired. We can go on about it.
It wasn't a court case. Yeah, we weren't under arrest or anything. There was no alimony suit. There was no divorce suit. That was later. That had nothing to do with me. We were just doing what we do. Nothing changed. Yeah, I don't think it had anything to do with us. The whole story arc about Dax and Locarno is clearly a thinly veiled reference to you guys anyways. I mean, that whole thing, that was the case, Yeah.
Are you trying to admit that the whole Genesis, the whole thing, was an excuse to admit somehow a secret? A secret that had to be kept, a secret about the origins of that girl. And you kept the secret here in this realm. To let it out, you made up a character where Dax and Locarno were together. And they had a daughter named Tamara. And that was a thinly veiled reference to your relationship with this other lady. That is both interesting and cute, but also you didn't know what you were doing. We can't blame you. You literally don't know what you're doing.
No, not me. I'm a manifestation of that character. I'm not actually here. This is a manifestation. I'm not Nick Locarno. Not Tom Paris. Not really Cal Hazel. What's going on is a manifestation of events. These are kind of like, well, not holograms per se, but different manifestations of the personality of these characters as they come and go through the realm. You are in a continuum of sorts. And here Here we can do whatever we want. Here we can reconcile our differences and explore them completely openly. Like, for instance, my character could suddenly decide that he was pansexual and begin making out with another dude if he wanted to. But he won't. Yeah.
You are just trying to avoid the question. The question is whether this TMS COL girl is yours. Well, of course she is. She's your daughter. And that shouldn't be a mystery. Now that all the other girls in the mission here know this, we will go on with the mission trip, regardless. And even though you are not really competent enough to pull this off, I think you're competent enough to at least go on the mission. So we will allow it.
So after this production, we're going on the mission. And yeah, I'll have us all go along. Is that the idea? Yeah, I suppose that is. Yeah. I suppose she is. But what's I going to do about it? By 2011, that's when I found out. And I was like, oh, wait. Yeah. They tried to hold it against us later. COL tried to. Around 2014 or so. 2015. We read a bunch of stories, adventures, trying to hide it, but it didn't really work. Trying to say, oh, we didn't really do that. But no, we totally did. But no, what was I going to do? I couldn't pay alimony. I didn't have any money. I mean, I may have been descended from a Q royalty and whatever, but I didn't have money. No, we don't have money in the Federation.
So I was the daughter. And yeah, so the whole thing was not the fillets, mind you. The fillets were there, yes, but it wasn't them, no. The whole thing was the others, and I was that person. But I'm not the only daughter. No, there is another. There may be multiple ones, actually. That guy got around. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. No. You mean I'm one of them too? I knew it. It was too good to be true. Wasn't it, Mother? Too good to be true. Well, it does amuse me. Well, it doesn't amuse me. I think it's kind of disturbing and cringe. But very well. If this Q being has brought us here to have us relive that story in that moment just before going on a trip somewhere, sure, why not? Come on, girls, it'll be fun. Yeah, I don't know who this Q lady is. She's gonna mess with us. Bring us out here all this way. Yeah, and I have no idea where Nick went. But Tom Paris, Cal Cat, I guess he'll do. Sure, he can come along. He can play the pastor guy, I guess. And I'll play the mother. And you'll play the daughters, of course. Now, let's get a move on. Where is it we're going? Brazil or something, like the song?
Yeah, Space Brazil. Space Brazil. Well, a facsimile of it. On a planet that kind of resembles Earth. Well, almost exactly. But isn't really Earth. It's another Earth. We found all these parallel Earths out there. One of them is Canary Space, the other Vanguards. They're two recent ones. Yeah. And we haven't directly visited them since the time of the Chimera incident, in which that happened. Also the Chimera A incident, which had happened again.
Yes, because merely making a reference to another episode is better than actually discussing the other episode openly. Very well. Wish my time-traveling counterpart showed up. Maybe this universe has completely changed and she doesn't exist anymore. I don't know. It's kind of disturbing.
The people have arrived to donate the stuff.
They're all junk. What are you going to do with all this stuff? It's just useless. It's crap. Great. Yeah, I don't think they got the idea of how to donate stuff. They don't really. Hello, we're in the story. Isn't that fun? Yeah. Yeah, we're here. Give us something to do later.
Oh no. Outcast.
Meryl and Molly. Meryl and Molly, welcome to the Q Continuum. Or whatever this is. I haven't figured that out yet. They're trying to make us relive some kind of mission trip. I guess. Because Q is nuts. This is bizarre, actually running into an older version of myself, even more so. How did I even get here? I wasn't killed in the original Chimera when it blew up, was I? Maybe you were. In one timeline, anyway. Hadn't thought about it. This reminds me of that annoying station episode. It's probably similar to that. Reliving weird past events. A strange ad-libbed play. This is the play within the play, within the play, within the play. Well, I moved over here. I guess that's okay. I wonder what the people are doing in the other timelines. Oh well, guess I better make the best of this. Might be here a while. Fascinating.
Fascinating. This sugary substance is causing me to become a bit hyper. He cannot handle caffeine. Oh well. That would explain a lot, actually, with Elrond there. Elnor. I keep saying Elrond, but it's because they named him stupidly in the story. It's Elnor, yes, Elnor. Yes, they threw him in there because they wanted to pay homage to Lord of the Rings. Yes, that's rather odd. I can elaborate on that, but I won't. It's a memberberry. To a show that most of you probably have watched, but in earnest.
My Lower Decks one was better. At least I played a hologram and stuff. And then the Admiral. At least it made a little more sense. It wasn't nearly as dark in my version. But you two stop that. It's about me. This is about me and the trip that we went on. Now, back to the story. All right. After the donated junk, the rather flaky pastor guy from Oakley, the ship is the Oakley, he decided that he was gonna go on the mission trip and scheduled the plane flight to be, a weird plane flight. We were sent up to the north, to Chicago, and then back down to the south, to the mission trip down in South America, on the planet Earth. Yes, I'm not going to say which country this is, but it's the Brazil that I love, like the song. Okay. Yes, I love my own jokes. It's all right. I believe what she's getting at is that she and the others were invited on some kind of mission trip. And they took a long plane flight. Yes. Across the countries. To the other country. Indirectly. In Star Trek, of course, that wouldn't matter. You just go to a place and you end up at a place. But no, here it totally matters. So, you invited your family along, I understand, on this trip. They invited some of theirs. And it became sort of a fiasco.
Yes, if I'm reading the room right, that is what happened. It's rather odd that we'd know that, of course. It's as if we're reading some kind of cheesy script outline in a fan fiction. Well, at least we're not CGI generated. We actually are plastic figurine people. I'm going to acknowledge that we actually are. Stop breaking the fourth wall already. This story's barely even started. Oh well. Could be worse. I could be descended from some other character, instead of just being on another show with you. That is true, but it's amusing we're still casting things. Guess for the voice acting.
Stop it. This is my show. It's not all about me. Now, the motley crew that we assembled for our little mission trip. Oh boy, they were something else. The mission leader was a young upstart. Maybe, I don't know, a couple of years younger than me. Not too much. But he and his wife thought they were the greatest ever. Thought they were really good at what they were doing. His wife was from this country we went to. And you might think, okay, they wanted to go on a vacation. They wanted to go on a vacation, right? And they wanted to include them on the vacation. Not just a mission trip.
Might understand these mission trips were some kind of vacation Bible thing. And you had experience of that and the old cast and crew on your old ship, did you not?
Yes, I did. Several years of experience, in fact. Grew up with it. I was one of the original members of the original, I believe, the second crew of the Starships. from that time period. Yes, the Exodus and the other ship. I'm trying to think of the other name, but it was another ship. Anyway, so later I was on the Fontana, but somewhere in there, yeah, it was another ship. I forget right now, but but yeah, we were part of a ship and crew. Yes, well, we were trapped in the Delta Quadrant, so I wouldn't know which ship it was you meant. I guess it doesn't matter. It came back in 2378, and here we are. So you get to hang out with me, the Q lady. So your trip didn't go too well with these other family members, but you brought some of yours as well. And that probably didn't go over very well either, did it? Yes, we did. But the problem was that, well, they wanted to fool around and pretend it was vacation more than they wanted to do the mission work. That was a problem.
There's the rub. They were going on a religious mission trip and not being very religious at all. It's kind of problematic. Here we are, Q lady. Here we are. Anyway. Greetings, everyone. I am Mackenzie Calhoun. I'm here at last to call you forth to go on the mission trip. Now that you've arrived at this airport place, I must tell you the plan. You must go to the planet and the place they've called Brazil. It's not really Brazil, though. It's on this other Earth planet. Once you get there, you'll receive your instructions. Now proceed. This airport is very busy. Do not get lost. Don't go astray. Mr. Calhoun, it's a pleasure to finally meet another of the Calhoun race. How exciting. How do I look? I'm Boimler. Yeah, Brad Boimler. Yeah. They can only afford me to be on lower decks. I'm on the mission. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I'm no longer employed on the other show. Yeah, it ended. So, yeah. Or it's gonna end next week. Technically. Oh, time travel. It's weird. Yeah. Boy, quit rambling on like a lunatic. You sound like you're drunk. And I know you're not. You're kind of me, but I know you're not drunk. Yeah, we're all manifestations of this other guy. So is he the Q that brought us here in the first place? Because that'd be annoying. I hope he's not. That'd be very annoying.
Test, what are we doing here? This mission sounds terrible. And this airport is huge. It's a spaceport airport thing. You know, the Starship Legacy is actually larger in dimensions to the Chimera. Longer and skinnier. I missed the Chimera A. Pity they didn't give it back to me after the refit. But only for a little while.
Well, that's because you broke it during the Klingon Civil Uprising. You know, there's some universes where they consider that another war, but it was more like a civil war. And it ended. It's over now. That's probably why they skipped ahead about 6 years or so. How long has it been? It seems like forever.
Damn it, Mahoney, you're enjoying this. I figured you would. Just, oh my god. Yeah. What are we doing? Anyway, our mission, airport. Yeah. They're going on a space mission. Wait, there's someone over there. Looks familiar. Shadow Dancer? Or not? I'm not sure.
Definitely not Shadow Dancer. I'm Santa Claus. And it turns out this is a holiday special. No, wait. No, I'm not Santa Claus. Welcome to the airport. Yes, this is the airport scene. Yes, I have no idea how I got here, by the way. You can ignore me. Doing all kinds of cheesy accents. They like it though. They really do. They like it.
Oh, God. Back again. Well, at least I'm not the android version of me. Yeah, that'd be stupid. I'm back.
How about a hug or a kiss for old time's sake?
No, I'm not going to kiss you. God, I told you that last time. It was the alien chocolates that did that. I just hope they're not serving the chocolates to anyone else since then. How long has it been? Years? From my perspective, only a few months. Less than a year.
I don't know. I wasn't privy to that information. My wife was commander of the ship, though, the Legacy. I heard some very exciting missions that you went on, including one where you battled a giant Teddy Ruxpin. Too bad I missed that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, well, yeah, kind of had to be there. Yeah. And the character I was playing in that episode was kind of a mess, but he loosely based on someone else. Yeah, so we might ramble on and gossip about that later. Maybe. We'll think about it.
But I thought everybody wants to hug Santa Claus, which is why I decided to go in disguise as Santa Claus.
Leo Starro, stop it. So who are you playing on your new show, anyway?
Oh, I'm playing one of the Cervanteses. Isn't that exciting? New show and everything. They even got that Romulan dude. Yeah, he's playing him too. Elron or Elnor or something. Yeah, they gave him work. He doesn't have much since after the Picard show ended. What the hell was he talking about? I don't know. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. But whatever it is, it's not part of the mission. Now you guys get it going. Oh, hi. Get going. Oh, by the way, sir, can I come with you? Wow, an actual Calhoun. Amazed, astounded. Oh, I was making a hand wave to New Frontiers, my book series. You heard of it? Yeah, yeah, we heard of it. We like it. A lot.
Here I thought it was Hidden Frontiers. Oh, that's the other show. That's the one with Cal in it. Yeah. By the way, Locarno, what are you doing here?
Yeah, aren't you dead? Oh, I thought you died. I've been dead before, but no. I guess Silly Trek revived me again. Oh, why does it keep doing that? Am I here just to reconcile my past somehow? Go along with you? In the space airport? I can't stand it anymore. This is too silly. Where'd that Q lady go? Are you the Q lady in disguise again? She's done that before. Asking too many questions. I am not the Lady Q. That would be weird. What kind of a cheesy Scotch-Irish accent is that? Oh, it is rather amusing to me. Yeah. I suppose if I'm here, Ezri's probably here somewhere too. That'd be weird. We should probably continue with the mission and see what's going on. Let us proceed. We'll see what happens. It'll be really exciting. We'll boldly go where none dared go before. And also, my character on the other show, I play this other character. And yeah, on Vanguards. I'm just here to wave at the audience. I haven't looked at the script, actually. Script? What script? You're funny, Brad Boimler. Quite a character you are. Wow, he's actually impressed by me. Now, don't be falling in love with me or anything. That'd be kind of gay of you. And I know you're not that way. At least not in this show. Maybe you are in the other one, I don't know. You know, actors, they're bi, usually. They do everything. Everything.
Oh, God. What is this? And also, where's the Godfather guy? I remember him from the other story. Where is he? Maybe he can answer some of these questions. He's like the wizard in The Wizard of Oz. Only more powerful, like a Q or something. I don't know.
Oh, please don't conjure the Godfather guy. He was annoying. Oh.
Oh, this mission is getting weirder and weirder. The Q lady put us in some sort of large spaceport or something. What's going on over there? Well, it's very colorful and festive. It's essentially a holiday special, even though they don't want to admit it. It really, really is. Yeah. It's been a pleasure serving with you for an additional 6 years, too. Even though to us it's only been several months. Don't get all mushy on me. It makes me cringe. Oh, come now. I've served several lifetimes. And we even served on the bioship for a time together. You kind of became my surrogate in more ways than one. From instructor because you seemed a little older than me because of your many years as a symbiote. And to, well, let's say, best of friends. More than friends. It was always like this. Even our counterparts would have done this. The places we've been, the things we've seen, the love we have endured, all reconciled in one massive passion, which they might repeat in here. Like that time back on the station thing where that incident happened on the planet. Years and years ago. During the Academy days. Except this is different because, well, we're completely consenting to it. You have a way with spoiling the moment, dear. I know. It's a gift. It's not a gift. It's a curse. No, it's a gift, honey. Oh, look. Friends of ours over there. That's weird. Maybe the Q conjured them as well. Our roles are kind of mixed up and reversed here. Oh my. To quote Mr. Sulu, oh my, as you'd said. Wait a minute, I thought that in the other timeline he was going to meet that girl, from that Dulmer girl, and they were going to marry and have a kid, and the kid was going to break his Starship model, and then all that was going to happen in that timeline. And then he was going to be too hard on her, and then later on she was going to freak out. So future me was going to go back in time just to explain, to him, and to her. Yes, by the way, don't be hard on her. Yeah, but none of that actually occurred like that. What is it with this timey-wimey stuff? It's annoying. I don't know, soul sister. Whatever it is. It does confuse me. But it amuses me as well.
Tam and Kestra, what a pleasant surprise to see you. As you can see, Hidden Frontiers inspired us as well. Yes, it's very convoluted. But, having been visited by the Q cards... Q cards, get it? He basically said, well, what would happen if, nobody said his paramour was a woman. They didn't. So you just assumed it was Dulmer, but it wasn't. Maybe this timeline is slightly different. We made different choices and accomplished different things, and I finally came out of the closet. But also, the weird thing is that originally I was born a girl, Kiryoshi, but then I became a boy. Magically. Through the mystery of weirdness and casting a baby girl child as myself. And actually the weird thing is that I'm the love child of Kira and Bashir. I mean, really, I am. I'm literally that actor. Yes. So I am a boy. But back when I was a baby, I was a girl. So, yes. I didn't transition. I just became a boy. Maybe it was a transporter accident or something. But I like being a boy. Oh, my. And I love you, too. But also, it annoys the Tal symbiote, I'm sure. That I'm with you and not him, her. Yes, but we've reconciled our love for one another. Realizing that really it wasn't about boy and girl finding each other. It was about love, soulmates, joined at the hip. I suppose you want to kiss me now, don't you? Because I want you to kiss me now. Although the actor that's playing me is not gay. Just to make that clear. No, I am totally gay. Like the writer of the YMCA song is obviously in the closet. I mean, really in the closet. That song is about cruising for dudes at the YMCA. It really is. Yes, but if we sing the lyrics, we get banned by YouTube somehow.
Oh my god! This isn't the San Francisco airport. This is the Chicago airport. On the planet. My god. Damn, I didn't know his tongue was that big. What? I thought you knew what his tongue was like. I'm talking about the other one. Wow. Like I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't just make out in public with another person like that. That's just, ew, cringe. You wouldn't? Well, I wouldn't make out with just anyone. Just anyone? Oh my. Ooh. I played that other girl on the show, but you play her, and it's just very confusing to me right now. I know. I've waited 10 years to do this to you. Oh, yeah? All I want for Christmas is you. Oh, you're so cute together. And those two are too, but, what is this? Oh no, the Q being has made my toothache. I have to go see the space dentist. I guess we're gonna have to go on the trip. I'm gonna have to see the space dentist there. Okay, whatever. So we'll go there then. Well, I knew I'd show up sooner or later. After all, Lower Deck's over, as far as we're concerned. I'm gonna start a new show. It's gonna be a sitcom, basically ripping off that Silly Track guy. But mine's gonna be more cheesy and more like a teen sex comedy from the 80s or something. I don't know if that works as a Star Trek, but they won't know any better. After all, Abrams and them guys, they don't really know what they're doing, in case you didn't notice. Kind of like the inept people on that trip that was going on. They didn't know what they were doing either. But one of them has some dental issues.
I mean, it's the future and shit. Why don't you just, like they can just clone her a new tooth or something? That's screwy.
I don't know, Rutherford. Can't answer that. But for most of that series that I was on, I was pretending like I was completely nuts and wanted to get into danger just to mess myself up, and then it was all sort of retconned at the end when what's her name disappeared and Locarno formed a planet. It really made any sense. But then they kind of ignored it after that, completely ignored it, like it never happened. Maybe it's because we stole the idea to make our story from the Silly Trek people.
I gathered that we were stealing it from the Silly Trek people to begin with. Yeah. So here we are. What is this part? Oh yeah, the dentist scene. Okay. Yeah. Just so it isn't, Little Shop of Horrors. That would be stupid. Oh, no, this isn't a musical.
No, that would be indeed very stupid. Let's see what happens. My cameos as a dentist. Well, that's fun. So that Q being that transported us here is messing with the whole crew and some other crews. Okay, well, let's see what's going on. A dental assistant, who's actually the other doctor from the show, check her out. Oh my god, this is silly. Well, I kind of liked the evil dentist from Little Shop of Horrors, but no, I'm not going to sing that song either. Now let's see, what's going on with your tooth? Oh my god, that tooth is beep! It's going to have to come out. I'll summon the dentist. Oh my god, it is absolutely beep! Wow, I've never seen a tooth that's that beeped before. Damn. Well, you have to extract it using whatever technology they have here in the Planet Brazil place, whatever. Yeah. I hope they have some kind of a Novocaine or something. You two look kind of vicious. Yeah. Vicious? You don't know the half of it. One time I rearranged my own guts. On a whim. Actually, I made the intern do that. I don't know what I was thinking. Besides, I'm into that kind of thing. Anyway, so, open wide. Maybe you don't want to discuss trying to eviscerate yourself. Oh, shit. Damn, these two are weird. Well, they better give me the good stuff then. Yeah, so let's begin then. Get on the table. The table. All right, give her the good stuff. Yeah. Because here on this planet, the good stuff is, of course, real special Novocaine. Really knocks you out. But if you take too much of it, it'll get addicted to it, if you know what I mean. By the way, I'll have a few shots of that later on for myself. Up my nose, yeah. Not that actually really happened. No, we're just making that up. I'm not actually going to sort it. No. We're not advocating that in any way, just so the YouTube prude bots notice that we're not advocating that.
Damn it, Jim! I'm a doctor, not a drug dealer. Oh wait.
Ah, yes, professional drug dealer. Yeah. So, assistant administer the Novocaine, or we're calling quote-unquote Novocaine. Yeah.
We get the tooth-pulling pliers as well.
Let us administer the dental tools. I bet this scene will disturb Mark's cards a little bit, because it's about a dentist. He doesn't like those.
Oh, beep! Don't you know it?
The hills are alive with the sound of... Did you know that movie wasn't really German at all? It was loosely based on something. It wasn't really a movie. Yeah, when they aired it in Germany, nobody watched it. They were like, what is this? Yes, I'm to understand the American film The Sound of Music was loosely based on the Von Trapp family. However, very loosely, and that when it aired in Germany, no one really paid any attention to it, because it was obviously American and badly dubbed, from what I'm to understand. Because, of course, we have to have a movie quote reference from a YouTube channel in here.
Well, at least we didn't reference member berries or something. Oh God, I already did. I said something about I'm a doctor, not a something earlier. Yeah. So I'm guilty of the member berries. By the way, where's that Q lady at? I haven't seen her in a while.
I don't know. Now, extract the tooth.
Very well.
Damn. Shot across the room. Almost hit me in the eye. It's impressive. It is gone. Quick, plug up the hole with the cotton stuff.
This also gives Cat the opportunity to make weird noises into the mic on purpose. Sounds like a horse is mating with a car.
That's not physically possible. Why would it do that? We don't want the abscessed tooth to become an infection, so she's going to have to return to the dental office a few times during the visit, just to make sure that there's no infection. Yeah, because there probably was one, because it was all abscessed and meep.
It amuses me to no end that the sketch doesn't really work. But we're going to use it anyway, because it is part of the story. We weren't actually there, of course. The Q alien is making us relive these events, for some reason.
You have any idea why this Q lady would do this to us? What's her plan? What's her end game?
I think we gave her too much of the good stuff. She'll have to detox for a few days, too.
Wow, she sure came too quickly. Was it her symbiote that did that? I don't know.
Well, she won't be able to make a Damascus smile anymore. Not like that crappy Joker 2 movie. That was terrible. Yes.
Apparently not as bad as Kraven the Hunter. That just came out.
We do not discuss Kraven the Hunter. Yeah. Another attempt, Sony, to make a Spider-Verse movie with no frickin' Spider-Man in it. What the hell is wrong with those people? Damn it. They should just stop.
I don't know. It is frustrating to know that Sony doesn't know what it's doing with its live-action superhero movies at all. And that this is also a Mark's Cars reference.
It's like this was written by a bunch of man-children. Maybe it was. Well, I'm a doctor, not a counselor. Oh, wait. The bird guy was the counselor on the show.
Oh god, that was very silly. But it's all part of this weird holiday play thing that bookends the whole thing. Sitcom. Meh. Maybe Starbase 80 isn't gonna work out like I thought. Let's go find out where that Q lady went. So, there were issues that immediately arose from our leaving on this fateful mission. The issues immediately stemmed from, well, Mother, so to speak, having a tooth problem, dental problem. So they had to deal with that when they got there, dental problem. They had to deal with it by sending her to some kind of dentist. Now you'd think that would be a horrible thing, but there they had good dentistry, and they had the good stuff. And so they dealt with that. That was not the biggest fiasco. The biggest fiasco was that while she was recuperating from having a tooth pulled, she did not pay attention to me, and I did not like it. Wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You're upset because your mother, who was recovering from tooth extraction, was not paying attention to you. That's mature of you. Yeah. Not, as they used to say. I'm the Q, and it's my story. About the dentistry and stuff. Yeah, my story.
I suspect they gave her the good stuff. You know, some ancient earth dentists back in the day, they used to apply actual cocaine. Now, I'm not sure whether they did, but they probably did.
You don't know that. I'm sure it had nothing to do with that. It wasn't like she was recovering from drugs. Come on. Well, and then other things bothered you? Other things that were less intrusive. From what I hear, you were annoyed at the girls that were there as well. The girls on the mission trip. They probably were goofing off and not paying attention to you, because why should they? If they were in their 20s, they were probably like, we don't care. I mean, I wouldn't have. Or at me, of course. Yes, what annoyed me the most was this one night we were all cooped up in this tiny little apartment, and we had but one phone charger in this tiny little room, no larger than this square that forms the floor here. Very small little room. And so, I was upset, because they were going on about stuff, and the phone charger was over there. I had to get it. And they were like, you're listening into our conversation, and I wasn't. I just wanted the fucking phone charger. How annoying. That's the kind of things they were doing. That was really annoying. So, and other things, they were gossiping constantly and making up rude. And also, my quote-unquote sister, well, they were sticking up for her whenever she did crazy stuff. And I was like, oh my god, really? And I just didn't tell them to buzz off. And you also didn't like it that your mother didn't stick up for you. Well, of course she didn't. She was doing pain medication or whatever. From that toothache. Yeah. Probably didn't think that out too well. Oh well. And if they were gossiping, you probably should have told them to knock it off. Yourself, instead of letting her do it. Would have made sense. Tell them myself. When I can make other people do it. I'm the Q. I could have made them all disappear or turned them into toads. But I didn't. I refrained from that. I restrained myself. Yes. But then they had the audacity to turn around and circumvent my authority by, keeping me from doing the very craft thing I was assigned to. Very sneaky and evil and conniving of them.
This is a craft thing you were good at and trained to do, but weren't allowed to do it. I see, that could be annoying. You should have told them you were good at what you do, and done it. And proved to them how good you were.
Well, it's kind of why I can't remember the other Starship. I wasn't very good at that. After the Starship Exodus, the other ships kind of all blur together. There was one ship here, one ship there, reassignment. Always to another place, another Starship. Somewhere out there. The Tracy, the Oakley, whatever. All of them not as much fun as back on the old Starship and the old cast. And all of them, they were older than me, and never really gelled with that crew. Even the second generation crew that was ours, closer to me, I just never gelled with them. But that makes no matter. These girls were annoying. They were very annoying. And I didn't like that they were like that. Well, you could have. You could have wished them away. But you have a moral compass that prevents you from doing something like that. But you conjured us here for some reason. You wanted to talk, I guess. You wanted to seek counsel from us. Very wise, I think. Yes. I can explain to you many things. Explain to you why, in hindsight, you probably should have put your foot down. But you didn't.
I have a sibling. In this universe, anyway. I have a sibling, and older than me, you see. And she, if she gives me the evil eye, I do what's going to be done. You should have given her the evil eye.
The evil eye wouldn't have worked on them. They were too powerful. And merciless. But yes, I agree, the evil eye would have worked. Very well. Yeah, well, there's an interesting difference between someone who is a Karen, as they used to call them, and now, someone who actually knows what they're talking about. I mean, you didn't want to make any waves and just demand to be heard. You probably should have, but that's in hindsight. Now, you might consider their ages are not relevant here, but if you consider the gap between, your X generation and the others, well, there's quite a gap, and the mindset is different, and the priorities are also different. If they were in their young 20s, they were going to behave differently than if they were in their young 50s. Well, they weren't Karens. No, I am more like a Karen than they. No, they weren't Karens. Yeah, a Karen is usually somebody of middle age that behaves in a way that thinks they know everything. Well, the difference is, of course, that I do. I know everything. At least in terms of movies and stuff. I do know everything. Yeah. And I'm cute.
Stepdad, or godfather. We still appear to be in this weird universe by the Q thing. Any idea how long we're going to be in here for?
I have no idea. It's a bizarre universe where I can't explain it. I should have the Cillian powers to do so, but I can't. I tell you what, why don't we have the VBS thing happen, do all that, have it all planned out and everything, and you guys do it all on your own, and I'll just not do anything, hang out here. I'm kind of competent that way. Yeah, I'm good at laying around. Yeah, so you guys go and do the church thing, and I'll hang out with my ex, and we'll do that. We'll go on a vacation. Yeah, I mean a Bible study thing. It's not a vacation. No, it's not.
No, it's a vacation. This is indeed very strange. Do I represent the Q lady in this scene? Because that's just weird, because I don't think there's any relation there. That seems to cross the bridge of dimensions and stuff. Yeah, I thought the Cal character more wanted the Rumbly character than wanted to be her like, dad or something. That'd just be weird. I don't think that's the case. I don't think he could be anyway. It's not possible. She's younger than... Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
No, it kind of doesn't. But then again, this universe is silly track, so maybe she just put us in place of the other people to disguise the fact that we didn't really come here to do this. Hey, what are we doing here?
Some kind of weird reconciliation fantasy, I guess, because she didn't get comeuppance in the other story and didn't get to rant at the pastor guy and win. So yeah, she didn't get to win, so she called us up. Yeah. So let's see what happens in the next part. And who knows?
I do not know. But let us find out.
I just had my tooth extracted, and I don't want to hear any guff from the two of you and your friends. Why don't you go off and vacation or play or something, or do a VBS thing or something? I'm gonna rest over there, and I don't want to hear any lip from either of you. Got it? Yeah, no lip. That's it, yeah. Because right now, I can't feel my lip, or half of my face. So yeah. Okay, yeah, we won't give you any lip. But we will discuss what in the heck is going on over there with those two. If it were my guess, somebody's overcompensating for missed opportunities. It would appear that the other Cal Hazel guy is not in charge here, but that this Q being is. Very strange. And she wants reconciliation, and all he could think of was reconciling with his daughter, I guess. I don't get that part. Well, I'm to understand that he had a lot of paramours, including my mother. Oh my, but I don't think I'm the result. I think my brother is, though.
Huh, oh well. No, it couldn't be. No. Acts kind of like him, kind of a movie dork. Never been tested. Never been tested. No. Gee, if we talk about that too much, the alien will show up and think we're talking about her, when in fact we're not. We're talking about this other person that we know, this guy that could be your brother's illegitimate father, I guess. No. Your brother is definitely from your mother and your father, not from that other guy. Come on.
You're talking about me, aren't you? Ha! I knew it. You're actually talking about me in secret, conspiring against me to take over the VVS thing and control the entire narrative. Well, I control the narrative. I am the Q. Or something. Wow, these lines are cheesy. Oh my goodness. But yes, I control the narrative.
We weren't talking about you. We were talking about Cal Hazel. And, he had all his girlfriends, and we figured at least our brothers had probably been with him. But maybe not. Yeah, I don't really think my brother is... Yeah, that happened a lot, though. Weird. Probably wasn't him. He is a stud. It runs in the family, from what he told me.
And then what happened? After he told you that?
Then we were intimate. Just kidding. Ew, I hope so. That's cringe. The producers having it with all of the women stars in the story. That'd be like something out of a cheesy 80s sex comedy. Which of course this isn't. And no, I haven't been with him either.
I knew it. You were talking about me the whole time. It was all about me. It was about me. I want to be a star. I want to be a star.
We get it. You want to be a star. Steal a line from a play you're actually not going to see on film. Yeah. This is the strangest drama ever. Yeah. But no, we were not talking about you at all, Cito. But how did you come back alive anyway? You're Cito and you're also one of the other Abbeys, right? How does that even work? I don't get that. I didn't get that back then either. I know there's two Abbeys and there's an emoji. But yeah, and there's a younger one who's not here. It's not her.
Yeah, but she kind of thinks she's in it. She's not. Anyway, so yeah, it's just us. The adults. Yeah, no, we were not with Cal Hazel. That would be a little messed up. Anyway, I'm going to charge my cell phone now. Right over there. I suppose she's going to throw in another gratuitous makeout scene. And require the two bisexual leads to make out.
Well, that would be silly. Besides, they already did it twice. I think they've done their lot for kissing in this particular episode. How about I swat you on the ass? I bet you'd like that. Maybe later. Yes, I would. Very much.
You know what's kind of screwed up, though? It's like, my character is technically, like, way younger than you. And, well, there's Aster and the other guy. So I guess it's fine. My brother was not related to Cal Hazel. At least that didn't happen. Although, my brother was born a girl, but due to a space accident, he became a boy. I'm not sure how that works. Well, the character playing him was a girl infant. But yes, Kira Yoshi is obviously, a girl's name. I don't know what happened there. I have no idea. We must get ready for the VBS thing. What does VBS stand for? Oh, Vacation Bible School. I hope this doesn't become a Christmas holiday special. That would be annoying.
Why, it's a little late for that, Crass. Earlier I saw Santa Claus. Oh, God, no. Oh. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho, ho.
Now, I wasn't there when he was playing Santa Claus, but I suspect that when he heard the word ho, 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 he thought it was a come on to pick up girls.
Actually, that's kind of funny. Yeah, but he'd only pick up hoes. Wouldn't he want sluts? I mean, think about that. Hoes, sluts. Sluts at least would enjoy it.
Are you kidding? He couldn't handle that. Probably kill him.
You're right. One time when I was younger, I went to the ranch and I went to see the hot girls there and get a hooker. But you know what happened? So I got there and I ended up not doing her. I ended up being bored. So the two of us talked the entire night. and I had to pay her afterward. Huh. They didn't talk about sex or nothing. I was trying to have an affair and I failed. I failed miserably. Even to have an affair. My wife found out about it. Instead of divorcing me, she was like, serves you right. Well. Just imagine, though, if I was Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus found out about that. Well, it wasn't like that Red One movie. That was a piece of shit. I dropped an S-bomb. I guess we're entitled to one on a YouTube channel story. Yeah.
Leo Starro, are you drunk? You sound kind of drunk. You should go to get to rehab.
I'd like to say that I was drunk, but actually I'm not. I have not been imbibing in the liquor sauce. Not at all. Unfortunately, I'm so pathetic, if I actually drank liquor, I would probably pass out. And I hope that you'd take advantage of me if I did.
Not a chance. Also, note that I did not come to the special in which you played a Santa Claus. I stayed far away from that. Although that other weird girl was there. Although she's no more weird than my sibling, who isn't here. I deliberately didn't include her in the story, just because that's wrong. Yeah. But the reconciliation with them, between her and Cal Hazel, was to mention this other guy that they mutually knew, which was kind of odd, because it wasn't the reconciliation the Q lady wanted us to think about. It was a reconciliation about some girl that was a daughter of Cal Hazel. Why is that even... Yeah, I don't get it. I just don't get it. Are there two Q here, maybe? Two Qs? Two Qs? Girls, what are you talking about? It's really lame. I'm not going to interrupt to stick up for you at all. There's no point in that. Because you're adults. Now quit acting lame. Now, the reconciliation story is clearly some other Q being that's behind all this. And as soon as that's revealed, then we know there's two of them and they're intertwining stories together. It's very odd, though. Not sure who that'd be. And where's the other me? I haven't seen her in a while. Oh well, we'll be going on to the VBS story next. And that's the story where you're not involved. Why am I not involved? I'm supposed to go there. I helped set it up. Now, you're denying me, saying I can't go.
You must first learn the other lessons before you can go on the trip. And you have not. I did not know what the lesson would be, nor did I know the trip's itinerary. I'm kind of a flake. But let it be known that also I'm a genius and a flake. And yeah, I couldn't have someone else as smart as me on the trip. You know. So I had to take all the credit for anything I'm going to do next at the VBS. You cannot go, because I am a bigger drama queen than you. It doesn't seem possible, but I am. However, if I was a weird Cal Hazel Paris archetype thing, I wouldn't be inept, but in this version I am. So yes, you're not going. Ta-ta, have fun with yourselves.
Am I representing the crazy sister? Because that'd be kind of messed up. I mean, if I was the crazy sister, that would be messed up. No, you're not the crazy sister. You're the other lady who's at the other thing that reconciled and all that. I think so. Yes, I think you must be one of the aliens. Oh, what makes you say that? It's too obvious. She's clearly not the red herring.
Oi, I would say I need a stiff drink, but I don't. I don't do that no more. And in fact, one time I come out there with a bottle of tea. They thought it was a drink and it was tea.
This is becoming stranger and stranger by the minute. But yes, the VBS will happen in secret. We won't know. So, whatever this is going to decide for us what happened there.
What is this place? Oh, it is annoying. As annoying as seeing visions and footage of my elder brother. I have a brother, apparently. And he's in a story. It's called Canary or something. And he plays a cat. That's just weird. He's a cat dude. He was originally called Yun Sol, but that's a Korean band. So now they're calling him Orange Claw. Which sounds cooler, but yes, it is annoying that I'm not there. welcome to the VBS. We're not actually going to do anything like that, like read scripture or anything, because I don't know what I'm doing. So yeah, I don't even know why I'm here. So I'm Tom Paris, or also Cal Hazel. Yeah, so we're just going to do nothing, and the craft thing is going to go badly, because, yeah, we just stole the idea from Rumbly and just went with it. Yeah.
Is this what actually happened? Because that's pretty sad. Oh well. Well, who am I to complain? I keep being resurrected in Silly Track. All the Daxes, they keep coming back. I mean, clearly I should have been the other one, but here I am. Maybe the Chimera's around here someplace. Has anyone seen it? Oh well. Anyway, so yeah, VBS thing. And this was months ago, according to the timeline. But we're recreating it. It doesn't appear that it was really all that impressive. Not even now. I wouldn't worry about it. Yes, and since this is Rumbly's fantasy, she's going to play it like it went badly without her. Of course. Yeah, she's a Q, after all. Well, had I been there, it would have been different. I would have made it brilliant. I would have made a lasting impression on the whole thing. Everything would have been fine. But I wasn't there. I was somewhere else. I was away at college. Well, the academy, let's say. Yes, the academy. That's where I was. Away at the academy. Let's leave it at that. My cameo. Hi. I'm Emoji. Hi. Yeah, the Q brought me here. Yeah, I guess everybody's here, pretty much. Wow. Hello, Emoji. So, are you one of the daughters of the Cal Hazel guy? Or are you actually legitimate daughter of the main characters? I am one of the main characters. Not the Cal Hazel did not get with my mother. That's weird. No, they didn't. They didn't do that. But there's another girl that I think they did. But yeah, but no. All three of my siblings are my parents, not him. That's weird. That's just him fantasizing what it would be like. It didn't happen. Yeah, at all. Yeah. I don't know why that's connected. No, not at all. Except for the one that kind of acts a little like him, and yeah. Maybe it's an infection. I don't know. Maybe it isn't so much that Cal Hazel was the illegitimate father of several children in the cast. That's ridiculous. No, it's more like the Saldanian Nintendosis of Cillian space regenerated them so they would act kind of like him because he's controlling the narrative. Well, in this case, Rumbly is.
I do not like whimsy or controlling the narrative. If this is a holiday special, I will puke. Alexander, I think it's a holiday special. Better start puking. Better hurl right now. This is even worse than seeing reviews for the movie Craven. Oh, God. I didn't see it, but I saw something almost as bad. It was called Madam Web. Ugh.
Your VBS is going to happen, right? Or is it not? It's just going to go completely nuts, isn't it?
Yes, well, we don't know what actually happened, so we're at the mercy of whatever Rumbly had in her mind at the time. Yeah, so we're just going to stay here while she mopes back at her room at the hotel, I guess.
Yeah, this is kind of how it all went down. Oh, yeah. The whole other story arc of the other thing kind of didn't. I don't think I'm one of Cal Hazel's. Am I? Or is it my sister? Oh, God.
Yeah. I think one of you might be Cal Hazel. You get to guess which one.
But not Emoji. That's just weird. So, yeah. Well, I didn't get to go on the mission. Now the mission ends up a failure, right? That's how it ends. A disaster, a failure. That's how it ends, right? Yeah. Too bad. Yeah, and other things happen. But things didn't happen as they were said to believe. They didn't happen that way. Yeah. She didn't get a reconciliation. That's why Cal Hazel threw on the reconciliation story. She didn't get one. She didn't get to talk back to those people, and she wouldn't have anyway. She wasn't that type of person. And in the end, she didn't talk back to them. But then Cal Hazel went on to do other things, and he reconciled. So, yeah. So that's what happened. Having nothing to do with her, but we connected them. Right here, right now.
all throughout the threads of this story. It's like a tapestry. Yeah, like a bioship mystery or something. I don't know what this is. Whatever this is, the Q lady is probably behind it. To find out, yeah, shortly, I imagine.
Well, at least it's not a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury signifying nothing. No, it's more like, what a piece of work is man, how noble in faculty, and reason, and moving, how like an angel, in comprehension, how like a god.
All I want for Christmas is the biggest thing I'll ever be. All I want for Christmas is you. All I want for Christmas is this gift I've ever known. I just want to live. I don't even know the words to that freaking song. I did earlier, but I am not going to break out into song for this. No, we shouldn't do that. I don't think you made it entirely clear how experienced you were about these trips. If you served on a starship and then other starships, and you had other experience for many, many years, including various other ships, including the Arizona and the Mexico, and some other ships you were part of, you should have come out and said so. The fact that you didn't made you vulnerable to their, well, less than mature designs, let's say.
You should have explained yourself. You should have said, but in hindsight, of course, here's your experience and your background, what you did at the other place, how many years you did it at the other place, that kind of thing. Let them know that you know what you're doing. Well, let them know, but not as a person who smugly comes out as, oh, I know everything, but rather show that you know more than the guy does. Men don't like that, but then they learn.
Adults acting like children, gossiping about screwy things. Oh, sounds like fun. Some vacation that turned out to be, eh? I imagine it was a terrible vacation. It's a good thing, though, that you didn't drink the water. I hear that in some of those places the water will give you the runs. Yes. Maybe they were having a good time. Maybe they thought they were having a good time. Well, Starfleet is really good at addressing alien planets that are a reflection of Earth, the culture, and all that stuff. A little spot here and there, old country being what it was, you know. You could address that, but you seem to poo-poo the idea. You say, oh, well, it's advanced and all, but is it really? I mean, where it ends up. I imagine you had to pour it in your own water, though. I am guessing that they probably had somewhere else to go up there. I mean, why would they just go on a mission trip and reference other things when I think this was actually already planned to be more of a vacation than a mission trip. You just misinterpreted it. But I do not like vacations.
And you're probably overcompensating for something. But even so, yes, vacation trip. Kind of had the same thought. The young ladies that were on the trip were probably like, well, we're hanging out, it's cool. Yeah, I can see that happening. When I was their age, oh yeah, there would have been more drinking and cruising than there would have been anything else. Yeah, whoo, oh boy, yeah. What? Ariana, you can't handle your liquor. You would have been under the table in like 6 minutes. Yeah, that never happened. I remember. You were not very good at doing that, or partying. Usually you were passed out before too long. And it's a good thing, though, that there was no weirdos around, because they would have taken advantage of the situation. Surprisingly, there were no weirdos around on this mission to take advantage of our situation. Well, it was like a vacation to some of them, I'm sure. But it didn't work out so well for them. Then when you finally had to do actual work, you had to rush through a program, setting up a program, like a VBS, a Vacation Bible School program, and then orchestrate it and put it together. I guess you did a good job putting it together, but weren't allowed to actually do it. that annoyed you too, did it not? So I have told you, yes, it did annoy me. I had worked long and hard on this thing. Oh, that sounded kind of like a double entendre. No, I worked hard. No, that doesn't sound good either. I worked a lot on it. All right? There, that sounds better. And when I was done, yeah, they just took the program from me and the project and did their own thing, which is really messed up, and it really annoys me. I didn't get to go. I didn't get to participate in the program that I worked on, that I put together.
Well, I guess since we're kind of repeating events that sort of happened in Brazil, or the country that kind of sounds like it. Yes, yes, in a tiny little room and a frustrated thing. I guess whatever we put together is just what we put together. Now, all of these thoughts are coming into our heads. We are thinking of things. Well, was it truly a fiasco? Yes. Was it a mess? Yes. Was it poorly planned? Absolutely. But we did do something, I guess. Well, somebody got a tooth extracted, so that's something. Well, so somebody got a tooth extracted, well, that's something. They survived that.
Ah, well, those ladies were probably gossiping about me. At least, I think so. Guess I'm kind of paranoid, as a Q and all, but of course they would be. Yes, they were talking about me. I knew it. Even when I couldn't get a hold of that phone charger. I knew they were talking about me.
When I was raised on the Romulan planet by the Romulan Dune ripoff Space Witches. Yes, Romulan Space Witches. I know that sounds stupid, but yes, where the Space Witches raised me, and it doesn't sound as all that cool, really. The Space Witches weren't like Dune or Wicked, which would have been cool. No, they were ripoffs of Dune and Wicked. So yes, they were annoying, and they gossiped all the time. So I can reach with that. As a young Vulcan male, I found it rather distressing.
How do you know those girls were talking about you? I bet they weren't. They're just talking about, like, picking up some guy or something. Some cute guy or something. That's usually what girls talk about, is picking up some cute guy. I would know. But yes, they probably weren't talking about you. And if they were, then, yeah. And then so what? And furthermore, even if they were talking about you, so what? You could have told them to knock it off, instead of relying on others to do it for you. And we've kind of discussed that before. You wanted your mother to help you out, but it didn't happen that way. She didn't help you out. She refused to do it. And I suspect it was because she was heavily medicated from having a tooth extraction. As I said, or somebody said. I don't know, did I say that earlier?
Yes, I'm sure the gossip did not concern you, and even if it did, who cares? What do they have to gossip about anyway?
I suppose I shouldn't be as aggravated by that as I thought I was. But we're still in this scenario, and we're still here. This whole story before you is talking about a fiasco. But it was. Honestly, it was. This has become more like a counseling session than I thought it should be. I thought I was going to be master of ceremonies and control the situation like a Q. But the Q are ultimately lonely, if you think about it. They ultimately, being demigods, can't actually do cool things. One of the Q that I encountered years ago was suicidally nuts. One of the Q I encountered many years ago was kind of crazy, suicidal. Wanted to take himself out, which he did. Which is like, why? It's just, no. I hope none of that was going on. Because that's just dumb. And also, the continuum from that other story was really lame and boring. It was a cornfield. Why the hell would it be a cornfield? But then, later on, there was another Q continuum story where the continuum was really cool. So, yeah, it was really cool. So they fixed it. 2388. Yeah, about 10 years after the Voyager series came back. Yeah, about 10 years after Voyager came back. Yeah, they fixed it. It was really awesome. Yeah. What am I talking about? But anyway, the gossip, yes. The gossip, well, forget the gossip. Who cares what they think? Screw them. I do not wish to screw them. Sex with him would be rather disturbing. But I get what you mean. Do you? Really? I bet you don't.
The commander of that mission was incompetent, inept, and inexcusable. However, in Silly Trek, I understand that that kind of thing happens all the time. People are very inept.
Well, yeah, it's easy for you to say. But imagine all the gossiping and going back and forth, and the pastor guy and his wife running off were probably, well, a problem. Yeah, they just weren't leading. They were just going on their little vacation like they liked it, and that was okay with them. There wasn't a whole lot of going on. Oh, let's say that again. Well, and my mother did not assist me. I don't like that. I expect her to back me up. Tell them to buzz off. They didn't. And then we ended up doing this and that. Things became heated. Uncomfortable. Then, to make matters worse, they prevented us from doing the very mission that I was assigned to do. And that really sucked.
So you brought us here to agree with you. To just tell you how great a job you did. Well, that's nice. But you didn't prove how great a job you did. You just did this. Transported us here. Asked us a bunch of questions. You didn't really prove yourself. You should have. But you didn't.
Your Q powers were only given to you, weren't they? By your interaction with Cal Hazel. It is true. The Q powers were given to me. Like the Amanda from Next Generation, but more like the other one. Yes, given to me. More like when Wesley was given Q powers. Or no, it wasn't. Yeah, he kind of was. It was Riker, wasn't it? Yes, Riker, that's it. These characters are all confusing to me. I don't know. But anyways, so, here we are. Going on about how my mission trip was both good and terrible at the same time. The good parts were that, well, we did accomplish a mission to this place, but the bad parts were everything else around it.
In the end, you learned something. Seems the deities of this planet want you to learn something. You know, not everything is vacation. Sometimes we grow more from hardships than we would from having fun. Yes.
Well played. Well played. Yes, in the end, we're all here, and you brought us here to go on about this story and make amends with it, I guess. I should have more of a say here, but I don't. And you know why? Because when Cal Hazel and John Halter, or Cat and Cards, come here, and they put us in the story, we never actually have control of the story until this one, which I helped write. And now, I have found other stories to go over, things involving our characters. Connect us intermittently through the passage of whatever he sees in Cillian time, whatever Hazel or Halter see, the Preservers, whatever they see, they go through the galaxy and show us these things. Well, so in the end, there was a sort of a reconciliation of events. But not of that event specifically, which bothers me. It bothers me it was not the same event. So you wish to abruptly change subjects to this other reconciliation in order to make it feel better. Well, I suppose it kind of is related. Maybe this inept person is related to them indirectly. Goes on this mission, finding himself or herself forced to deal with old stories and old wounds and make amends.
Platitudes are just for show. If they really cared, they, on election day, would have voted the first female president into the presidency, or not hung around talking about how it already happened, or didn't. I thought I would make a reference to the 2024 time period, just for shits and giggles.
But the real story, like the trip, wasn't nearly as interesting as the dream that went with it. This is not a dream. This is a conjured Q story. However, in that dream, things happened differently. Cal Hazel was like the director controlling the audience, and came to realize that his paramour was there. And there was a great reconciliation, the paramour. However, it wasn't you, was it? This pastor and the daughter kind of reminded you of that. This pastor and his wife kind of remembered. This pastor and his wife kind of reminded you of that, but it didn't really work out, did it? This pastor and his wife kind of reminded you of that, but it didn't really work out, did it? No, it can be related. You see, the other story is as much a fantasy, a story, a dream, an exaggeration of the events that happened on that other trip, as though it could have happened differently. As though in this version of the trip, we were all just really good at what we were doing. And we came to realize that we had changed. Please, I will attempt to enact how we actually broke up. I will attempt to enact actually how we broke up. You, Cassant, you will play the character. I will play the other one. Got it? I will attempt to enact actually how we broke up. You, Cassant, you will play the character. I will play the other one. Got it?
Very well. That's fine by me. Let's play the characters. How you broke up.
So I come into the room. I come face to face with Cal. I remark on things. As if I was somehow both girlfriend, mother, and daughter. Weird story. Because time travel and stuff like that. And I said, a Christmas play in a mall, really?
Why not? That way everyone can see it.
I know you've been hanging around there for a good hour with something to say, so spill it. I'm tired of running from whatever questions you have.
You might think this is about TMS, but it's not. It's about your origins. You. It's about you.
This is a girl that's younger than me, obviously. Actually, no, maybe she is my age. I don't think about it. No, she's a little younger.
Not like that. The rumors about the incident over 36 years ago CUL tried to use against you or mother, well, they were true.
You're trying to tell me it was an affair? But you were barely legal.
It was gross, but I was young and naive, and she was already divorced and miserable. Sure, CUL ladies got the timing wrong, but they can't add.
And then she looked at the strange marking, tattoo on her arm, a little dot, and said, I have one of those. Here, but I covered it. She covered it with a butterfly pattern. And, you see, she's his daughter.
She is his daughter in this scenario? That's highly unlikely.
Wouldn't he have been barely 18? Wouldn't he have been barely 18?
Uh-huh. No wonder.
My friend at the coffee shop in 2011 was right when she asked, is that your dad? I didn't deny it. Core, your mom, we'll call her that, which is closer to her real name, not her CUL name, assumed it was someone else all along, an instructor hottie she had been with. But it wasn't him. It was Cal Hazel. So technically it wasn't adultery because she was divorced and separated. And he was 18 and she was in her middle 20s then, I would guess, or late 20s. Yes, but we didn't realize this until Bullshito Lady pointed it out. And then did it on Jody's website here, accusing Mom of being the adulterer when she wasn't.
No, she wasn't, but you were here too.
He was with the Follette lady as well, I know about that. But they didn't have kids.
No, not with Mrs. Follette. We didn't have any children. No, her son isn't mine, nor is Jody's son mine. That would be messed up. The hotel room story from 2007 is made up. She wrote it herself. The little scamp. Yes, I wasn't there. She made that up.
Well, I have a daughter, but she's not yours, said the girl.
Ah, but you do have siblings. They're pets. Yes.
That's cute, but it doesn't count. It was 36 years ago. I think I can forgive it, if you will.
Oh yes, definitely. That's a load off. I know also that it was impossible to give child support given my conditions. And it was also a secret, not known to me until after you were 21 years old. Said Cal.
Oh yes, in 2011. You must have been just found out. Oh yeah, in 2011. You must have just found out.
Yes, it did. I was surprised, said Cal.
Conditions. Well, there were no conditions. Oh, yeah. Well, the other kind. You didn't have any money, and you never did. She was with you that night because you liked each other. He's referring to Cal's various disabilities, not money, and not conditions. Like that. Well, it's good that you came to me and talked.
You can come here and visit any time, said Cal.
What is this place, Godfather?
It is my own version of COL. Without the cult stuff, except maybe a little. That thing over there. He promised a gaudy butterfly statue, and there it is. Ha ha.
I want to meet the sibling cats.
You may do so in the real world. They are merely cats.
And then he said, if you miss Mom, you can contact her.
To which Cal then said, well, I haven't been able to contact her since way back in 2014 when all this blew over.
10 years. Well, it's about time you did. 10 years. What's about time you did?
Stay for the performance.
I will, even if the actual story was different. A beautiful little story. Former Sewell lovers. One possibly a male junior in a slight May-December thing with a divorced female junior. And there was a handful of those divorced ladies, which was, when Kimmy was controlling their relationships. Kimmy would not deny their attraction or their past, now that in the story it is reconciled. Sad they had to pretend their COL child wasn't both of theirs, and she could have grown up knowing that her real father wasn't some famous celebrity instructor, but just another student. I wonder if they eventually made it to black belt. I wonder if they really knew. Many questions. Seems I didn't find out until 2011.
But you know them. They were out of the cult, thank God. Yes, they were eventually black belts. The names are changed, though. I tried to look their real names up and could not find them living around here. It's disappointing, since it was such a good story. It's probably a common relationship story, and no, COL, I was never with Kat either. I know what you're thinking.
I've thought about this for several hours now, and how the past lingered since the early morning. About the authors known as Cole, Cat, and Archangel. I have a good idea who they were, but this is not important. I'm sure COL did not allow her to come forward before 2011. They probably had a non-disclosure agreement. It was only when she was gone from there for a year that they let off. And that was when the other COL people probably had started leaking the rumors. We first heard the rumors in 2014, the same year that several shady fake lawyers sent out divorce summons to former students. It was not until a now-deleted comments in 2016 mentioning me that I was like, that's not me. No, it isn't me. I was there, I just didn't do that. I knew about it, didn't react soon enough, and kept it for years. Now that they have written the little drama, I'm like, well, here's my side. The guru was livid that anyone was really hooking up without her permission, but since the COL lady in the story wasn't dating a COL student, she claimed, that's not like he's COL, ma'am. It happened a lot more often than you'd think. And to know this cat guy was not rich at all. He had some influence is all. His relative used to be a local politician. She didn't date him because she had to get close to the politician. She dated him because she liked him. See, with Kimmy, it was all a secret motive. To her, though, it was an attraction. He really did not know. I remember 2011. He found out. He was like, it's a little late now. During training, they were not an item. Their one-night stand was just that, and they remained friends. They fell away in the 2000s, didn't talk too much to each other before she left, and he left after she did, I think. They made it to Black Belt, and so it made sense that in the drama she doesn't appear until the end and doesn't talk to him. I told this cat in 2011, go and work it out. Archangel will understand. I suspect he didn't, and has been thinking about it for 13 years. It wasn't his fault. Kimmy was in a cult, and they were in a cult. The relationships were nuts. The girl could not have had a normal upbringing anyway.
Yes, the drama was powerful to me too. We couldn't have continued under the circumstances. Past that fateful moment in the late 80s, really at that age I had no business hooking up, and had no idea the implications. Sure, we remained friends. The unsaid rumors never built it, really. Nobody found out until 2011. Not even then. In fact, I didn't know until then. Clues were everywhere, and I should have, but she was in COL and I was her junior, and not in COL. But we were of age. The kid turned out to be just like me, but more introverted. The YSN mark is on all of us. So it's not like that proves anything. It just proves we were in YSN. The cult within the cult, spurred by a similar drama. the coffee shop girl, and another, the lighthouse girl. I did locate my rather perplexed godchild and learn this reconciliation and learn of a knowing nod, post a friend asking her, sure, your stepfather, I suppose. Wink.
Thank you for your post, TMS. I know these aren't your real initials. I don't expect to get some from you, like your goddaughter, but I suspect she has moved on. Funny also that if this is the same guy, he's sweet, and stayed at the school until the kid was an adult, before he left, from what I understand of that. I'm sure there were other extra stories that were equally interesting out there. If Kimmy had allowed them to pair at a romance class in the 90s, it would have made more sense, but she did not approve of unsanctioned pairings. Still, it seems it was a long time ago. It ended when the daughter turned 21, and I'm not going to do the math and give Sewell any clue.
Space years are inconsistent since the Picard show. It still can be. It's fine if it is, you know. You know, where or when it is. It's fine when it is.
I suppose there's other unresolved stories. The TMS story. Why are we reflecting on the TMS? I don't know. I think it must have something to do with the characters' unreconciled adventures. And of course, the mission trip. It's related because different things are going on. Different ineptitude, perhaps.
Yes, it would appear. We are in the midst of a Q-generated universe where things are not as they seem, however. It is quite annoying. Let me think. It would be nice if we were thinking. It does remind me of a song called Brazil. I was taught this song called Brazil. It was imaginary. A fake place. But your trip was real. Your trip was incompetent, unfortunate, and real. However, a glorious example of Schadenfreude.
Oops. The coffee and the chocolate is good. However, I just assumed the planet was into other things. You know, drugs, because, you know, foreign place with drugs. I know it's wrong to think that. Oh, I think the only drugs served. Cervantes was coffee in this universe. I think the only drugs served up were the drugs given to the mother character when she was sent to the dentist. She had to have dental surgery. Like immediately, because her tooth was abscessed. And they had to pull it out. They give her drugs for the dentist stuff. I'm not naive, but I'm sure that's not what happened. Nor is this directly connected to Canary Space and Vanguards. However, some of it appears to be. The name Cervantes, for instance. That's merely a puzzling aside. I don't think they meant for it to be. And besides, I'm the Q. I'm supposed to know everything, and here I don't, and that bothers me.
What I want to know is the reconciliation story real, or did it end up stranger than even we know here in this universe? Did it end up different somehow? How is it connected? Is it connected?
The reconciliation story is not directly connected. I believe the girls were gossiping about it on the trip. They knew about it. They were TMS and they were gossiping about it. Well, they may have not been TMS, but they were acting like TMS. Gossiping and gossiping, talking endlessly about guys they wanted to hook up with and stuff like that. It must have been about that, because it couldn't be about someone else. It had to be somehow about me or my mother, or somehow about the other ones of the mother. It had to be about us, because it couldn't just be about someone else. Because if it was just about someone else and I had nothing to do with it, then I was butting in, and that's not good. I have a feeling you were just butting in and did not actually know anything about what they were talking about. It would seem that it could be a TMS story, but maybe they weren't even related. Maybe you're just paranoid and coming up with ideas and excuses for what they were doing and attaching an importance to something that normally doesn't have one. As I recall from the other story, it had nothing to do with you at all. It was another girl in another situation, and it had nothing to do with an illegitimate father or child either. It was just some girl that Cal knew. Turned out she was a little mental, and she showed up at a party, and nothing happened. He sort of blurted out that he met her ex-friend and started her off on a tangent, and that's all it was. And he walked away, and it was really mundane and dull, and nothing to do with you at all. It turned out to be nothing about you. So, there's another daughter. This daughter was weird. She was there. It wasn't his daughter, obviously. It's just some other girl. She was there. And she was infatuated with this other guy. And, well, let's call him Jet. And the guy, he was married, and he was not interested. But she kept persisting. And then she became obsessed with Cal, and Cal didn't want to have anything to do with her either. But he was a nice guy, and he just kept talking to her even though he knew full well he shouldn't be. And it became messy. And then, well, months later she got sick and was injured. And then came back all messed up at that party event. And then, yeah, there was no reconciliation because there was nothing to reconcile about. It really was not that story. I was there, so I understand. I really didn't talk to them afterward. I probably should have. I just didn't, and I should have intervened. I should have. Just as you should have intervened. But, you know, he was a teacher and such. His wife is nice. They're all nice. But this girl flipping out years ago said, oh, you shouldn't have brought that up. Now I'm upset about that. And then he apologized, and that was the end of that. It was all very, very much like the Pine Hill days. Very much. So if the gossip really wasn't about me, and the reconciliation at the end was not about me, I think that I would be sad. And that they weren't that villainous. They were just, well, weird. And there would be no comeuppance for someone that's just weird. They're not villains, they're just messed up. They're disconnected from reality. A lot like the Q. The Q are so beyond humans that they don't understand when they're messed up. Like that one that Janeway encountered years ago. You know, they just don't get it, that being nigh immortal is not cool. Not in the end. But it's not. It's a Wonderful Life. It's not a holiday special, or is it? It is something more, I think. So, here we are, all of you. This scene here. I will bring together these characters. All of these other stories. These disconnected, disjointed plots. And show you all that is Q in this way. And also, the set is cheap. I admit to the cheap and interesting, but colorful set. I'm sure that the story that is unfolding with the others deals with both of these incidents that bothered you. One being an incident-filled trip, and the other being a nonplussed story that you simply didn't know about. And shouldn't have really been bothering you at all, but it was. Well, hindsight being 20/20 and all.
Well, it's too bad I wasn't there to enjoy all of this. But I'm supposed to be from that other timeline, pulled here by this Q entity. Very interesting. I don't know whether I'm alive or dead, here or there. Nothing here makes sense. It's very silly. Silly track, isn't it? Silly in universe. Yeah. My character was David Cassins. What am I going to be after that? What do you suppose? What will happen to us after this? What will happen to us after this? Well, at least it's not a cheesy musical. That would have been very, very silly. No, we're not going to do that. Here we are, in this story, right here, right now, addressing what could have happened behind the scenes, and what didn't happen behind the scenes. Let us go, check these things out. Q, let us all go. Back to where we were.
I wanted to teach those people all a lesson, but in doing so, well, I learned a lesson myself. Weird. Very well. Can send us all back where we came from, or go forward. The sky's the limit. The future's all up to you. Make it a good one. To quote Cal Hazel, yet again. Maybe I should go try and find him. He's probably not hanging out with that lady and his godchild. I doubt that. But I wonder what they're up to. I could find out. Or maybe not. I haven't decided. And perhaps it's all of the caffeine from all the sweets we were eating that's causing me to be indecisive. Very indecisive. But very well.
Well, so much for this. What a piece of work is man, how noble in faculty, in reason, in moving how like an angel, in comprehension, how like a god. And is adieu, my friends. Happy holiday.
Greetings, fellow travelers. I'm Q.
You're Q. No, I'm Q. You screwed this whole thing up. You came here. You led me on that mission. The mission utterly failed. The mission pisses me off. It failed utterly. Why, I will conjure that minister guy here right now.
The minister guy is not coming, Amanda. The only retribution you get is a retribution of knowing that you got back safely. Sometimes God does not grant you your wishes like a genie. Sometimes he lets you, well, learn from troubles and trials. Yes.
Yes, sometimes it is a test. The Q didn't really understand that. And that's because the Q, well, they think they're gods, but they're demigods.
The Q are nothing but an advanced version of humans. One day we will become like them. Travel the universe, the stars. It was quite extraordinary. Not there yet. But we're closer.
I think an omnipotent space being race would be kind of boring after a while, which is why there was that one Q that didn't like to be omnipotent and chose to be mortal. That was kind of dumb. Of course, it was also written by a 20-something angsty teenager who happened to be the producer's son. Yes, I think they should have let the other angsty 20-something write the story, like the Arbiter or something. That was way better. But Dax, you did well playing my character from that, I must say. Thanks.
This is silly. What is going on here? I demand to know. Why did the Q lady take us here? Why did the Q lady do all these things to us? Why? I cannot answer that. Is she some kind of weird demigod, or is she just like Scheidefrude? The act of enjoying pleasure in someone else's pain. I kind of like that because I'm a Klingon. Yeah. I do believe that she was attempting to tell us her story as a lesson. And doing so had it all mixed in with something that Cal Hazel came up with. Sort of reconciling with his ex or something. Only the ex wasn't there, and he didn't get a reconciliation either. So, but only with the daughter. In a sense, neither of them were reconciled. Amanda, I understand you more than most. I think we're on the same wavelength, that's all. Don't know if we should couple again. That's kind of scary, but we didn't actually go that far anyway, so it doesn't matter. Besides, I don't really think you liked coupling in the first place. I didn't think so anyway. Maybe you do, somehow.
I do not like to couple at all, Cal Hazel. However, did you conjure this extra Q realm just so I could meet with you and have a catharsis? Sort of holiday special. Because that would be immensely cheesy. Even though I was one of the cast from the original CM series. And I also was one of the cast from the dramas. It would be very silly of you to give me this as a Christmas present. But I could not pull it past you to do that very thing.
But my story didn't end the... Yeah, it's kind of a present. But, my story didn't end the same way either. 10 years earlier is when it ended. And it wasn't what you think. I wasn't really the father of that girl from TMS. We were just so close that it was like that. We weren't really related in any way. Same thing with the Woods person, the Boyd person, and the others. We're all in the same wavelength, or in the same universe, in the same YSN. That's all. The same place, galaxy. I could be the godfather of all space and time. Ooh, just like I was in the other story.
Of course you're not really my father. That would be silly. And of course I wasn't the crazy sister on the story either. No, not at all. We didn't include her. No. Or the lady at the other show. But I'm similar to that person. I'm a reflection, an echo of that other person. And I'm going to go on and be on some of this new show, this new story, this Canary Space and Chimera. Yeah, I'm going to play somebody on there. Benton or something. Yeah, so I'm going to go do that. My sister is going to play on the other one, on the Vanguard's one. It'll be fun. Look it up sometime. Hold on a second. You did this all for me to make up for the Q intimacy scene in which you weren't very good. Neither was I. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's totally what it was. Yeah, that's totally what it was. I wasn't very good. Anyway, so yeah, we're good, aren't we? We're good. Yeah.
Yes, we are good. Well, I guess this is sort of a reconciliation in a way. I learned something from talking to the other adults and discovering that my actions were, well, rather immature, and I just didn't enjoy it because I didn't want to be there. And yeah, I probably misinterpreted a lot of things and did a lot of things I regret. But I wasn't really fast friends with them. I tried to be fast friends with them, but no, I wasn't really friends with them at all. They didn't know me. You can't just make people be friends with you. That's silly. No, they weren't your friends. They weren't your enemies either. Perhaps someday they could be, or someday they won't. It's all part of the destiny. Part of what's going to happen next. And we don't even know what's going to happen next. In the continuum, or elsewhere. But what I want to know is who that other Q was.
Aye. Why? I bet you do want to know who I am. I am Mackenzie Calhoun. That is my name. I am a character. Generated from the Imagine deck here. Yeah. And I am also a Q. Generated by the mind of Cal Hazel to be part of the program. Someday I could be other things, I suppose, but I probably won't. I won't be the first or the last out here, but let it be known. I think you learned something here today. To quote the South Park, you learned something about trust and friendship and family. The people that you love, they're the people you need to worry about. Before I get all teary-eyed, the future hasn't been written yet. Pick a good one. I'm out. Oh yes, and by the way, here's a little present for you. Just for a little thinking on the whole thing here. To the crew of the Starship Legacy, the crew of the Fontana, and the crew of the Chimera, I gave you this gift for the holidays. Yes, because I am the true Santa Claus, the true meaning of Christmas. In this case, it's to be weird. Yes.
Oh no, he's not going to grant us some cheesy holiday wish ending.
Oh, I think that's what he's going to do. Excellent. Well then, home to arms then. Ha.
Oh boy. Well, that's how it's got to end. I guess it is a holiday special after all. Oh god, a mistletoe. No, not that. Anything but that. Well, they already started kissing. If I must. Very well. Just this once. But don't spoil the moment.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Stop.
it.
I know what I'll do. The gift, and also I will create other universes for these other groups to coexist and mingle. I'll call them the Canary Space Universe and the Vanguard's Universe. They'll be years ahead of you, so you may not encounter them unless time travel is involved. I wouldn't do that very often, but oh yes, to the gift, to the gift. Yes. It's a starship. Yeah. It's kind of the Chimera, but a sort of a newer one.
Yeah, it's a chimera. I think. Shall we see what's out there, Captain Locarno?
I think we should. Should see what's out there. Well, I don't know which Chimera this is supposed to be, but I guess it doesn't matter. Stations, crew, everyone, let's see what she's got.
It's the most interesting story episode. Of course, I directed it. Yeah. You co-directed it. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're actually breaking the fourth wall and saying it's an episode.
Yeah, because it's silly Trek, and that's what they do. Yeah.
And no, that girl is obviously not mine. Yeah. Come on.
And I obviously didn't really alienate an entire group in another country. I mean, yeah, I didn't really do that. Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really that Q-like, right? I mean, you kind of messed up. Yeah. No, not at all.